So the Indiana Fever, they've got Caitlin Clark. They have got Caitlin Clark on this team. And do you want to know what the biggest thing about having Caitlin Clark is? Well, that your team's going to be significantly better and more players are going to want to come. You're going to get bigger crowds. You're going to make more money. And with all of that, I think we're going to be seeing a big change. A big change in how the Indiana Fever is run. Because the COO and president is stepping down. Alison Barber announced today she's stepping down for her role of president at the end of the season, who has held the position since 2019, will help lead the development of Marvella Project, which is a new effort to empower girls and women in Indiana through sports. Alison has been a tremendous leader for the Fever over the last 6 seasons. We are grateful for her dedication. Look forward to watching the positive impact she will continue to have during her next chapter. They have someone lined up. I would say this was a situation where it was like, look, we're bringing in someone new. We'll get you a job, or you can leave on your own terms. I wonder who it's going to be. So let's look at these. Obviously, I did find this on Reddit. Shout out to Breezy Bay on Reddit. But what is the org structure? And that is the thing when it comes to it, is like, it doesn't mean that like Lynn Dunn's stepping down, but I think Lynn Dunn might step down too. Like, Lynn Dunn has retired, came back to basically try save the Fever, and the Fever are good. The Fever are fine. I think Christy Sides has bought herself another year. She's definitely bought herself another year. So I think that we will see, though, a really, really highly regarded president of basketball operations, or president and COO, because you are printing money if you are Herb Simon. Yeah, overall the league might be losing money. You are printing money if you're Herb Simon. And you want to start winning. Because if you can get good, like, you're seeing more and more people are watching these games now. Like, more and more are watching games. Like, there was 1.9 million people that peaked at. 1.6 million people watched Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on Ion. I don't even know what Ion is. I think Indiana sees the opportunity and plan to put a professional front office together and maximize potential. Lindo will probably retire as well. Sides probably bought herself another year, depending on free agency. If Mitchell leaves, might as well swap out Sides. I think Mitchell's going to be there. This sounds like a fired but saving face. I don't get firing vibes. She's stepping away for a new venture. Plus, her announcements is coming before her departure, with firing off releases comes the day of departure. I think that it's not that it's a firing, but it's like we are replacing you at the end of the season. Go sort out. It's probably look, you've done a good job here. We're happy with you, but we're replacing you. So go get another job. You're staying in your job till the end of the season, and then you can go get another job, and then you can announce you're stepping down. So I think that's more likely the case, but I do think when it comes to the Fever that they have like the most potential in this league, because it's hard to get a center as smart as Aaliyah Boston. It is hard to get a point guard as good as Caitlin Clark. And when I say that, as in there is no center in the W that is as smart as Aaliyah Boston, and there is no point guard that is as good as Caitlin Clark. When I say it's hard to get those players, I mean that in a way of you actually just can't get those players. Those players do not, simply put, do not exist. They do not exist in the WNBA. And you've got yourself a team, you've got yourself players that work together and that are figuring things out, that are working well as a team, which is good. Which is, like, without question good for you guys. That's what you want. That is what you want, is you want a team. You want a team. You don't need individual players. You want a team to be successful. And I think that's what it is. And President, COO, just is going to be overtaking all the basketball operations. And I think Herb Simon, Herb Simon is the owner of the Pacers. I think, obviously he's somebody that is, who knows what he's doing, who has not given one damn about the Fever for the entirety of his ownership. And look, Lynn Dunn is a legend. Do I think she was ready for what Caitlin Clark was going to do? No. But she is an absolute legend of the game. And I think that if you are Lynn Dunn, you're probably just happy to step away now. There's no point trying to rebuild a new team because you've got the pieces there. You got the pieces there. And the pressure the pressure will come in when you are trying to go and when you're trying to go and build a new team. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to Indiana. I think free agency, you're probably going to keep Kelsey Mitchell. Obviously, it's going to happen. You're going to core if she wants to leave. Core her, she's going nowhere. Kelsey Mitchell is going absolutely nowhere. But then it goes with if you look at the power forward position, that's really all they need to do. Natasha Howard is there. Satu probably is going to be cored. She's probably not going to be there. So I'm just trying to think who could be there for them. Obviously Dejanay is not going to be there. She's restricted. Two, those two will never play with each other. And it'll be interesting to see what they look at. For me, as I've said, I would look at trying to bring in Emma Messiman, because obviously she's got her big contract overseas, but she has played in years where she's played overseas. I would look to bring in Emma Messiman at the 4 and then pay Leonie Fibic to play at the 3. Maybe that's just too much offense, not enough defense, but that would be, if you could manage to swing that one, because you have a lot of players on rookie contracts. Or I would still go for the try get Megan Gustafson from Vegas, see what, because they don't have a first. And in the draft this year, if you can get Dominique Malonga, you take Dominique Malonga. She can be your long-term Temi replacement, and she could be even way better if she falls to you at 7. Obviously, you've now are in a position in the playoffs where you go one down pick in the draft. You could end up landing at Tahina Paupau, which means you might not need to bring back an Erica Wheeler as your backup point guard. So there are a lot of options. Heck, Raven Johnson would fit with this team, because her shooting's getting better, just as his defensive dog at that point guard position. Raven Johnson really would fit with this team because Lexi Hull's more of a wing defender. So there are a lot of players that they can draft, and it is just having the right front office there, whether it's from, obviously the owner's not going to change, but from him down, it's about getting everything right. It's about a front office which has been terrible for the last 15 or so years. Not 15 or so years, 10 or so years, in order just getting that right. And obviously replacing the president is important. I don't think Lynn Dunn's that big of an issue, but I would say Lynn Dunn will end up stepping down at the end of the season. Because, look, free agency doesn't start till January. You've got time to replace Lynn Dunn. And I think there are players that you've got to do it. And I wouldn't be surprised if you've got a GM who's being told, find players to fit Caitlin Clark. They don't have to be American, and you start looking overseas. You start recruiting based on how fits rather than who is just perceived as the best player. And you might have someone that might be projected to be a 3rd round pick, but would suit perfectly for this team, and they go 1st or 2nd round. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.